This film will almost certainly make my top 10 films of the year. Welcome to another movie review video. Woo! Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above in case you are looking for something else to watch this weekend. Yes, I did of course go and see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 the day it came out. I saw it in IMAX. Now, I will always go and try and see Marvel, Star Wars, DC type of films in IMAX because I know a lot of them have portions that are filmed specifically with IMAX cameras for IMAX. Now, the only IMAX showing at a time that I could make was IMAX 3D. Not a massive fan of 3D as a glasses wearer. Glasses on glasses just distorts it, makes it feel a little bit... But I will say, if you are on the fence about seeing this one in IMAX or IMAX 3D, it was actually really good. I feel like the glasses that I was given were kind of better because they were sort of a bit bigger, so you got a bit more peripheral, with the IMAX screen being a little bit more surrounding. So it's not a review of the format that I saw it in, but IMAX 3D, I was okay with it and it was quite cool. There was parts of it that made me feel a little bit sick. I was like, are we just on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind right now, or are we watching a film? But yes, it was fabulous. It was amazing. I cried, I laughed, and I was like, oh, as well. Which, I mean, what more can you want from a film? The fact that you can cry and laugh and be amazed and then find it very visually appealing as well. So yeah, now I've always kind of consider myself not like, I don't gravitate towards the Guardians of the Galaxy characters, the Guardians of the Galaxy films as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, I love all the Avengers stuff, and I was glad when they sort of joined in with the Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War films. Like, that was great. And I did appreciate that, but I wasn't ever kind of like, oh, I want to rewatch the Guardians films. I'd be more likely to rewatch like Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk films. But yeah, I feel really connected with them after this film. I think just because it was such an emotional roller coaster. So Drax in this film is just absolutely hilarious. Just the humour that they've written for this character has just kind of gone up and up and up, and his kind of relationship with all the other characters as well is just deeper, and I think that gives him more heart, and so that's what makes this character even more funny. And it was just, yeah, the comedy of his character was just great. This film really focuses in on Rocket, and again, this is a spoiler-free review, really focuses in on Rocket, which you can tell from the trailer because you see a kind of baby Rocket in there. And I really appreciated that because I think always out of the Guardians, he's been my favourite character. I love how snarky he is. I love how, you know, he's clearly a natural leader, and so there's a power balance between him and Peter a little bit. But yeah, I really like him. I think my sort of second favourite character from this group of people would be Nebula as well. And her character has just got a warmth to her that we haven't seen previously. Obviously, because she's not human, she shouldn't have a natural warmth, but there is a warmth to her character, I think because of her kind of friendship with Rocket as well. And so that was really, really nice to see. In terms of character development, this is a very, very character-led film. So if you are a fan of a character-led book or a character-led Marvel film, you will definitely be a fan of this one. Everybody's kind of at a bit of a crossroads in this film as well, and so it is a bit of a self-discovery story and a bit of a introspective journey for a lot of them. All your kind of favourite characters show up here, and we get to see them interacting, and we get to see kind of, you know, where they are post, you know, the Avengers Endgame type of world, and where they are post Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special world as well. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed the fact that it was so character driven. Obviously, it is a long film, like most Marvel films. It is a long film. However, I didn't notice that I went into the cinema at 7:30 at night and didn't come out until 10:30 at night, because I was just so taken in by the movie itself. The space scenes, obviously they're all space scenes, but like they're just so beautifully done. They're kind of, you know when you're coming to an area that they're flying through that isn't a nice area because of the visuals on the screen. You know when a scene's going to be a bit calmer because of the visuals on the screen. And then you've got kind of the moments where they're grounded, not necessarily on Earth, but like grounded in an area or a town or a community, and those are like really interesting as well. There's a counter Earth in this one, which I thought was a bold move to make. And then kind of the villains. Oh, the villains have even got a bit of comedy to them as well. I think that's where Guardians of the Galaxy is slightly more mainstream popular than some of the other Marvel films, because the villains are sort of not lighter, but they have a comedy element to them as well. But yeah, it was an emotional one for sure. I think I cried a total of 4 times. And again, no spoilers, just cried. And it was, you kind of would go through and there'd be a moment and you'd have a cry and think, right, okay, we're going to be okay now. But then there would be another emotional moment. And I think because it's such a long film, it was kind of spread out a little bit as well. The other thing that I liked about it was that it was kind of doing its own thing. There wasn't too much throwback to, oh, when we were in the Avengers, this happened, or when Thanos was around, this happened. There really wasn't. It was its own developed storyline. And I think of the post-Avengers Endgame films, aside from Spider-Man No Way Home, I think this is probably my favourite. Obviously, Spider-Man No Way Home was an immediate after thing, and I saw it 30,000 times. But I would go back to the cinema and see this one again because I just thought it was amazing. There are so many things I can't talk about because I would be giving you spoilers. But ultimately, should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? Yes, for 2 reasons. Number one, the sound and the visuals are so beneficial when seen on the big screen. Like, I would pay the extra money to go and see this one in IMAX again because I just thought it was great. If I could access going and seeing it in Dolby, I think that would be amazing too. So that might be something that I'll try and do. But just, yeah, visually it's so good. And then the other side of, should you pay your cinema going money to go and see it, I feel like there's something for everyone here. It's a 12A, so obviously it's not accessible for all. There are all the swear words in this one, but there's no kind of like sex or nudity or anything like that. It's not overly violent, I don't think, but it is quite emotional in terms of mature content. And so I do think that there is something for everyone here. I went to see it on my own, but I know families that have gone to see it, and I really wanted to talk about it with someone, and I would absolutely go and see it again. So highly recommend. Yes, you should go and see this one in the cinema. I loved it. Definitely going to be one of my top 10s of the year. And aside from Spider-Man No Way Home, it's my favourite post-Endgame Marvel movie. So there you have it. As always, if there is a particular movie that is coming out that you want to hear my thoughts on here, do let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to go and watch films on demand. If you enjoyed this movie, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on next week's movie review video. I also have a couple of book versus movie videos coming your way, so you're not going to want to miss out on those. And I will see you with my next video. Thanks so much for watching.